Joe, I wanted to ask a question na may isang tanong lang ako sana about, di ba last year yung Congress, di ba may Committee on Good Governance sila, may Quadcom sila para investigahan daw yung confidential funds ni VP. I remember na palaging ini-emphasize ni VP na dapat yung investigation nila in aid of legislation. Now, kung yung ano nila is problema nila na is yung confidential funds nga for civilian agencies, yan yung parati ni-raise ni Heidi Mendoza na yung civilian agencies daw na bawal you shouldn't have confidential funds. Yung tanong ko, Miss Joey, is meron pa silang nag-pass yung mga congressman ng Quadcom or Committee on Good Governance, nag-file pa sila ng bill to abolish confidential funds para to give at least the appearance na yung mga persecution nila is neutral or for accountability. Meron po ba? Nag-file ba sila?
They filed a bill on how to handle confidential funds.
Okay.
So parang yung sa bill na yon, andun sila si Barber, si Baby Boy Tambi Ortega, si J. Kong Hoon, si Abante, Stella Kimbo, yung usual cast. Nag-file sila ng bill, and what they wanted is that magkaroon ng criminal liability yung SDO kapag hindi niya ma-account kung sino yung mga binigyan niya ng voucher. Pagka hindi niya hindi siya kunwari yung ang tawag dito, kasi yung SDO, yung Special Disbursing Officer, according to them, dapat daw si Special Disbursing Officer, siya daw talaga mismo ang nagbibigay ng pera doon sa supposedly merong confidential information. Ganon.
Kasi yung issue nila is bakit yung dalawang colonel daw ang nag-disburse.
Yes. Yung sila yung kumausap doon sa mga informants, yung mga uniform So parang sabi nila, bawal yan kasi ang dapat si SDO ang nagbibigay ng pera sa kinembot, ganyan. And well, kumbaga gusto kasi nilang i-trap doon si VP na kung paano pinrocess ni VP yung confidential funds sa OPP. Ang problem is walang sense of practicality yung bill na yon. Kasi talagang I don't think may papayag ng uniform personnel na gano'n ang mangyayari. Ang Special Disbursing Officer, usually, ang sweldo lang yan parang siguro nasa 40,000, 35,000 pesos. And if you're going to require that the disbursing officer is the one to hand out the voucher, kung sino yung informant, kung sino yung involved dun sa confidential operation. Okay? Basically, what they're trying to do is si Special Disbursing Officer ay magiging default person na involved sa lahat ng mga confidential information, intelligence operation ng gobyerno. Ibig sabihin, privy na siya. Ibig sabihin, ilalagay mo yung
gusto nila civilian yung SDO, ganun ba yun? Gusto nila civilian yung SDO?
No, civilian naman talaga yung SDO. Okay. But it's just that they didn't realize that they're putting a lot of responsibility dun sa SDO. Biruin mo, gagawin mo siyang part ng confidential operation. Kasi gusto mo siya yung magbibigay. Kunwari, merong informant na kunwari, Joey Cruz, informant, ganyan. So ngayon, malalaman ni SDO na ako pala yung informant ng ganito na ito pala yung diba?
So nalalagay sa peligro yung buhay rin nila, yung informant. Kasi yung SDO, civilian lang.
So kung kunwari ako, sindikato ako, at alam ko na ino-operate ako ng gobyerno, diba? O di kaya parang, merong anti-drugs sa campaign tong gobyerno. Sino kaya yung mga nito? Sino kaya yung mga rats nitong gobyernong to? Kikidnapin ko na lang si SDO. Para tatanungin ko si SDO, sino mga pinagbababayaran mo? SDO
mas mahirap yun kung yung colonel, no? Mas mahirap yun kung like what you said, privy na siya sa yung intelligence operation. It's much better if ano sila talagang
Hindi na siya
uniform.
confidential, hindi na magiging intelligence yung operation kasi meron kang isang tao na lagi mong dine-default na kasama sa lahat ng operations. Biruin
Yeah.
mo, hindi na baliw yung SDO na yan.
Mm.
Diba? Hindi na baliw yung SDO na yan. Biruin mo lahat ng sensitive operation ng gobyerno, kasama siya.
Yun.
Diba?
Another thing, Miss Joey and Ate Sas, if you could also let us know what you think about the subject. Kasi yung one of the points raised by Cello Magno is minamadali niya yung investigation ng Department of National Defense. Yung results ng investigation ng DND at ni Gibo, yung dalawang colonel na yung SDO daw, sinasabi nila sila yung SDO, yung Special Disbursement Officer. So one of the points raised by Cello Magno is dapat Gibo should release the results of the DND's investigation on the two colonels that VP assigned to release the confidential funds. At yung resulta daw ay magbabackupan yung nila, yung plunder or whatever case they have against VP. What do we think about that?
It proves that Cello Magno
they don't have an
evidence in their possession. So ikaw Cello Magno, sa totoo lang, 'di ba? Sa totoo lang, Cello Magno, ikaw, wag mong tinatanga ang sambayan ng Pilipino. Wala ka palang hawak na ebidensya, kang pota ka. What are you doing? Pagkatapos, ang tawag dito? Kuda ka ng kuda dyan. Misuse, ganito, mali yung ginawa, ganyan. How would you know? Wala ka palang hawak na ebidensya. Diba? Ako sa akin lang itong for someone who has PhD as part of their curriculum vitae, it's unforgivable. Nagagawa ka ng mga ganitong bagay. Na you have allegations, you have already filed case to people. Tapos wala ka palang hawak. Diba? This should have been part of your submission to the ombudsman. Diba? And sa totoo lang, ito pa ang isa, Cello Magno. Okay? Did you ever call for the declassification of Inday Sara's confidential fund? Bakit hindi mo yan ginagawa? Ayaw mo, kasi pagka ginawa mo yan, makakaaway mo lahat ng uniform personnel across the board. Kaya hindi mo yan ginagawa. Kasi kung gusto mong i-reveal ng DND or whoever na nag-investigate dyan sa confidential funds ni Inday, ang first na question mo dapat dyan, ang first na lobby mo dyan dapat is i-declassify yung confidential fund ni Inday. So that we can talk about it in public. Ba't hindi mo yung ginagawa yung very, very important step na yan? Why?
They can ask
Because
the president.
You're going to make...
They can ask the president.
Yeah, ask the president about it. You do not want to do that because makakalaban mo ang sangkaterbang tao sa gobyerno. And you do not want to make unnecessary enemies. You just want to make you just want Inday to suffer dito sa political persecution ninyo.
Yes.
So, makita mo, dyan palang wala ng sincerity itong advocacy nito ni itong pinaglalaban na ito nila Cello Magno Supot na supot. Diba? Fake advocate. Political persecutor ka lang. Wala kang pinaglalaban. Madam. Diyos ko.
So, yung tanong ngayon is, if assuming na tapos na yung investigation ng DND at ni Gibo, will they release impartial results? Or they will skewer it to para magmukhang masama si VP na may kalokohan dun sa dalawang colonel involved in their involvement sa pag-disburse ng confidential funds? Will Gibo do that?
mahaba pa kasi yan kasi sa totoo lang, I think pati si Gibo, magdadalawang isip diyan kasi makakaaway rin niya talaga yung
Yeah.
yung makakaaway rin niya talaga yung mga uniform personnel diyan, yung parang, "Ha? Ilalabas mo 'yan? Itong mga confidential kinembot, ilalabas mo 'yan, ha? Talaga?" Ganyan. Marami siyang makakaaway diyan kasi it will set precedent doon sa mga susunod na na treatment sa confidential and intelligence funds ng MIUs and ng government. So, I do not know how Gipo is going to do it, how they're going to treat this, ganyan. Baka magtanga-tangahan sila ng sagad. Pero,
Kasi,
what I'm saying, they cannot do it without making enemies.
Kasi Miss Joey, Ate Sas, maraming intel agent na mamatay this year. Last year and this year. I think 2 or 3 or 4. Maraming intel agents na mamatay because of this culture na gusto nilang gawing open, yung hindi dapat gawing open or transparency, itong confidential funds, intel agents na, it involves national security. Pero yung like what you said, yung fake advocacy niya, Miss Joey, why don't they demand na pati yung pangalan ng mga intel agents at yung identities ng mga informants ng Office of the President, DND, why don't they call for their unmasking rin, di ba? Bakit yung intel agents or informants EVP? Ba't ganyan?
Correct. Ayun. And ang main problem kasi nila dyan is that dapat raw walang confidential fund si Inday Sara. But if that is your major question, kung ang major question mo is yung paghawak ni Inday Sara ng confidential funds, then you blame the Congress and you blame the President. Kasi yung confidential fund ni Inday Sara sa DepEd, it's a grant from Congress. Yung confidential fund ni Inday Sara sa OVP, it is a grant coming from the Office of the President. So, hindi naman yan, kahit magtututuwad si Inday at manghingi siya ng confidential fund 24/7, 365 days, kung hindi siya bibigyan, hindi siya magkakaroon. Pero binigyan siya. So, ibig sabihin, the Congress at that time saw value in the proposal of Inday Sara to have a confidential fund, and the program that she intend to use the confidential funds on, ay nagkaroon. Diba? Same with the President. Nung humingi siya ng budget sa Office of the President at binigyan siya ng Office of the President ng confidential fund, ibig sabihin, nakita ng Office of the President na may value yung programa ni Inday.
Possible po ba na itong mga tao ng COA, yung Intelligence Confidential Funds Audit Office ng COA, for example, yung team leader nila, si Attorney Camora, do you think na we never know, baka because of pressure, monetary, we never know, babaliktad ba po yan? Kasi nag-testify na siya under oath na may documentary evidence, regularity naman. Do you think there's a chance itong mga official ng COA na nag-audit sa confidential funds, nagsabi naman sila na no problem naman, regularity, babaliktad po ba sila? Is it possible? Because of pressure, whatever.
Everything is possible. Sa totoo lang, everything is possible.
Kasi may statement si Dan Fernandez that time nung sa hearing. Sinabi na yung team leader ng COA, sabi niya, it was spent in 132 locations, may documentary evidence. Tapos itong si Dan Fernandez at that time, sinabi niya, you are lying. Hindi ka auditor, you are lying. Wala nga siyang counter or rebuttal eh. Sinabi niya, you are lying. So, syempre, natatakot rin sila, tao rin naman. And I think we should consider na baka possible na it's not below them, no? Na cooperate
sila. Actually, Daniel, yung last year pa lang, yung the mere fact na nag-furnish yung COA ng mga submissions ni Inday sa House of Representatives, something is really wrong with COA already.
Kahit hindi pa tapos yung audit, no, binigay na nila.
Oo, binigay. Ba't nila binigay yung mga submissions ng
I think you described it as naging politicized na rin yung COA to some extent, no? Sa ginawa nilang yun.
Oo, definitely. Ayun. So ngayon,
Nawawala na yung independence.
in relation dun sa question mo na posible bang magkaroon ng baligtaran? Well, oo. Nagawa nga ng COA na, 'di ba, nahilot nga nila na mag-submit yung COA ng mga submissions ni Inday. I-furnish siya ng COA ang House of Representative ng mga submissions ni Inday. 'Di ba nga they read the letter of Attorney Zuleika with regards to the confidential funds, yung mga submission, yung mga Mary Grace Piatos, yung mga ganyan.
Paano
Sino
nila
lahat sa
paano nila
Congress?
nakuha yung letter na yun, no, Miss Joey? How did they obtain that letter of OVP to the COA, hindi ba? How did they obtain that?
Sinabpina nila yung COA, pagkatapos yung COA, nag-comply sila dun sa sabpina.
Oh.
Sige, sinabpina mo kami, di ganyan. Pero ang point dun kasi, pwede naman manindigan si COA na or pwede naman niyang i-submit, tapos pwede niya sabihin na itong mga to, it should be treated, it can only be discussed during the executive session. Kasi confidential yun eh.
Yun
Diba?
na.
The mere fact that COA just gave all of this document to the House of Representatives, sila mismo, ni-remove nila yung yung confidentiality, yung confidentiality nung confidential funds na yan. Ganon. Well, I hope they get sued in the future kasi parang may batas tayo dyan na hindi yan dapat nire-reveal sa public pagka confidential
Yeah. Miss Sas, hi Ate Sas, there is this, may nakita akong comment na they were responding to what you were saying, Miss Sas, about yung dapat under the law daw dapat i-liquidate yung public funds before the year ends. Now, meron comment responding to you. I don't have the screenshot with me, pero ang sinabi ng comment na yun na pwede naman ilagay sa surplus or hindi naman kailangan i-liquidate all in the year or hindi naman kailangan i-utilize lahat ng funds for that year. So, Miss Sas, I wanted to ask you, what's your rebuttal to that? Kasi may nakita kong ganyan. Hindi daw kailangan liquidate
Sino nasabi hindi kailangang i-utilize for the fiscal year ang...
I'll find the screenshot, pero yun yung direct response niya sa'yo na, kasi meron kang post before, may viral post na under the law, which is correct naman, under the law, kailangan mo liquidate per year. Pero I think si Romeo Ako, he's one of those who was saying that, na kailangan daw na pwede naman ilagay daw yun sa surplus or whatever, hindi naman kailangan 100% utilization. So yung line of reasoning nila.
Yung liquidation can happen beyond the fiscal year. Pero yung utilization, dapat gawin mo yan within the set fiscal year kung kailan mo pinangako na i-implement yung projects mo. Kasi makaka-apekto yun sa absorption rate nila at saka sa utilization rate nila.
Kasi yun yung nila focus nila dun sa 11 days. Pero hindi nila nilinaw na yung 11 days po ba na kasama dun sa timeline na binigay ng OVP that this is the set date that we will accomplish nung projects. Hindi yan malinaw So, yung dahil sa ambiguity ngayon, they're saying na, naging intel, nasa PNP ako dati na hindi naman kailangan mag-liquidate until before the year ends. So, meron silang year and fiscal year na hindi nila differentiate. They're not differentiating.
Yung liquidation, iba yung liquidation dun sa utilization. Yung utilization, kailangan nilang i-utilize yan within the period na pinangako nilang i-utilize yan. Yung liquidation is, yun yung documentation ng utilization mo. Okay. So ngayon, yung utilization, it may happen, you may complete it beyond dun sa fiscal year na pinangako mong i-implement mo yung project. Kasi, mas kasi after the minsan hindi pa tapos yung project so hindi ka talaga makakapag-liquidate. Diba? Hindi pa tapos yung project. So, ayun. So, parang ang weird lang nung mga ibang nagtatanong na hindi kailangan
if I'm not mistaken,
magkaibang ano yun, magkaibang activity yun eh, yung liquidation at saka yung implementation. Magkaibang activity yun. So, are they referring to the liquidation? Are they referring to the implementation?
Yung my understanding yung sinabi niya is kahit na yung 125 for example yung 125 million. So 11 days before the year ends kasi December 31 yun eh. Sabi nila pwede naman ilagay sa surplus surplus or whatever na hindi naman kailangan
hindi siya surplus.
Hindi siya surplus. Kasi ang surplus lang mangyayari kung na-utilize mo na tapos sabi mo ay nakasave ako kasi ito lang pala yung presyo, nakatipid kami ng materials, nakatipid kami ng ganito. Yun ang surplus.
Okay. Thank you.
Pero yung sasabihin mo na may pera ka, may budget ka dyan, tapos sabi mo, ay surplus to. Bakla hindi yan surplus, unutilized fund yan.
Correct. Unutilized budget yan. And unutilized budget is a badge of bad performance.
I saw a comment na if we can discuss daw yung ginawa ng Russia ni Putin, yung jailed yung sentence in absentia yung ICC judges.
Well, that's an act of a sovereign nation.
Do you think that it will help PRRD in an indirect or whatever way?
Well, it's going to hit ICC na ayan anong magagawa nyo dyan? Anong kaya nyo? Diba? Anong kaya nyo gawin dyan?
Ubusin
nyo dyan? Diba? Ano react nyo dyan? So, siguro matatamaan yung credibility nila. Like, what can you do with Vladimir Putin? Nothing. Diba? So, lumalakas ngayon yung puntos ng mga nagki-criticize sa ICC saying that ICC is actually a political tool.
Yes.
In fact, yan nga yung pinagtatalunan ng mga international relations scholar na ang problem, 'di ba, parang maraming discussion yan 'di ba, kung ano yung problem ng ICC.
Yep.
Wala naman kasi talaga siyang
ngipin.
Wala siyang ipin kasi wala naman talaga siyang enforcement mechanism, ganyan. So ibig sabihin, magtatakbo lang siya kapag nakiki-operate yung mga bansa na part ng Rome Statute. So
Yes.
pag dinedma sila, what can they do? Russia is not a part of the Rome Statute. Pero kasi ang pinoproject nga nila is they are the court of last resort. In this situation, what can you do? What can ICC do?
Si Trump rin, nagtathreaten ng bagong sanction sa ICC. Bagong sanction, December 10. Reuters reported, Trump is threatening new sanctions sa ICC. Talagang ubusin talaga ni Trump yung resources nila. Kasi they're now spending a lot of their resources to resist itong mga sanctions ni Trump kasi hindi sila makipag-travel. Yung mga assets ng judges nila, frozen. And hindi sila maka-transfer ng pera. They can move money around. Pero feel ko ma-offset ng EU yan eh. Kasi EU is still the top funder.
Ako personally, ang gusto ko talaga, ma-question yung credibility ng ICC.
Yeah.
Sa totoo lang.
Wala, that's expected. Yung kay Putin, I really think madidisband yung it might happen in our lifetime na madidisband yung ICC.
Yes.
It can happen within our lifetime or it cannot.
It can happen within our lifetime. Hindi ko sinasabing next year, pero within our lifetime. Madidisband yun.
Kaya ako sa totoo lang. I really wanted to go there eh. Yung questioning yung integridad ng ICC. Doon na dapat yung banat.
Yes.
Pukpukin yan. Anong moral authority ninyo na maging world police when in fact you are using yourselves as a political tool? Diba? Sa mga willing makikooperate sa inyo na bansa.
Miss Joey, I wanted to ask one
Mhm.
question tungkol sa signature campaign. Kasi may mga hindi na nakakaintindi from the other side na ang tingin nila, just want you to address this quickly, na ang sinasabi nila yung signature campaign daw is not effective dahil yung Supreme Court daw wala naman daw jurisdiction over the ICC. Hindi nila alam
Wala
yung
naman sa usapan yung ICC sa Supreme Court petition eh. Yung mga kaso sa Supreme Court are habeas corpus cases. And yung sulat sa Supreme Court pertains to the habeas corpus cases.
Yes.
So, hindi ko alam dito sa mga idiots na to.
Yeah, let's not name.
Hindi yung ICC, hindi makasali yung ICC sa usapan.
Yeah.
Diba? For all intents and purposes, okay, ang last touch kay PRRD, before siya, legal contemplation dito, nawawala si PRRD, ano? Kasi, hindi dumaan sa legal proceeding si PRRD sa Pilipinas. Kinuha lang siya, tapos dinala siya sa ibang bansa. So ngayon, for all intents and purposes, si PRRD, missing yan sa mata ng batas ng Philippine law. Kasi saan napunta yan? Diba? At ang last touch sa kanya is the Philippine government, yung team group effort.
Yes,
so
yes.
ngayon, team group effort, it is incumbent upon them to explain and justify before the Supreme Court that the taking of PRRD is justifiable, is legal.
Yes.
That is the question. Okay? So if it is illegal, team group effort should bring PRRD's body back to the Philippines.
Kaya Miss Joey, hindi ko naintindihan yung mga the other side na they're posturing na sila yung guardians ni Miss Kitty, diba? She is the one who is filing a case nga dun sa Supreme Court. Yung habeas corpus petition.
Isa siya na.
Sabotage nila.
Correct.
But Miss Joey, meron kasing argument, there's this argument going around na yung Supreme Court ayaw nila makialam kasi daw para some sources that claim to be close to Supreme Court, sinasabi nila ayaw nila mag-decide ngayon na yung kaso yung mga petitions sa Supreme Court dahil ayaw nila mag-intrude doon sa separation of powers kasi yung team group effort, executive branch, at baka if mag-decide na sila sa petition, judicial overreach daw po yun. What do you say?
Wrong. Because habeas corpus specifically for that. Kapag merong abuses ang gobyerno na hindi maipaliwanag kung legal o hindi legal, it is the duty of the Supreme Court to decide upon it. Kapag kinwestiyon yun, kaya nga meron kang remedy na ang tawag habeas corpus eh. So yung mga ganong nagsasabi, wala judicial overreach, ina ninyo, nag-aral ba kayo? Diba? Pag hindi kayo nakapag-aral, huwag kayo nagsasalita, mga bobo. Diba? Parang, how can it be a judicial overreach when it is an available remedy? Tinanggap nga ng Supreme Court yung petition eh.
Yeah, tinanggap nga. Yeah. Pero yung argument kasi nila is, yung delayed decision or hindi pa nagde-decide is because meron pa silang reservation na baka judicial overreach ang gagawin nila pag nag-decide.
Then they have to decide if it is a judicial overreach, kung ganun man yung feeling ng Supreme Court, then they have to render a decision.
Yes.
Still, they are mandated by our Constitution to decide. Okay? Same rin yan eh. Pagka kunwari, di ba, may mga questions na may mga nagpa-file ng petition sa Supreme Court. Tapos, sasabihin ng Supreme Court later on, no, this is a political question, we cannot decide on this. Okay? But still, they're going to issue a resolution, whether it is something that is within their power or not. So, yung mga nagsasabi na, kaya hindi nagde-decide ang Supreme Court kasi parang feeling nila ganito. Hindi kayo sa Supreme Court. Kasi kung parehas kayo na iniisip na Supreme Court, sasabihin nyo ni Supreme Court. It is the Supreme Court who will say na, hindi ito sa within ng authority namin. Judicial overreach ito. Even that, si Supreme Court na magsasabi nun, hindi sila.